I used to be a musician, and my teachers always told me, play with better players than you.
So isn't that competition?
It is. But is it good?
Of course it is good. Of course it is.
If my goal is to be a good musician, then it's good. But in the end, look at where...
And what if I want to be a better thief? Then I'm among better thieves. Then I learn how to be a thief.
That's my question. Is it good?
We can always talk about any quality, any category, any discernment, any phenomenon. We can always explain how it is per se, in itself, and then there's no good or bad with it. And then it's about how man uses it, for the better or for worse. That's the whole thing. Let's say there is a... Let's say we don't need any more factories in the world. Ford is big enough to provide cars for the whole world.
Will they make better cars? What do you think?
Like the cars in Russia.
That's the exact example. When there's no competition, all the cars are so bad that if you get into a car, you don't know if you'll come out ever. So it turns out that we need all those various people and factories and professions who compete. And I think that, look, we wouldn't achieve any human wisdom in medicine or in philosophy or in anything if there would be no competition. How could you live without competition? If you're talking to your child, to your son, you're telling him the other children are better in look how they study hard, look how smart they are. When you educate your child, that's how you do it. You use the competitiveness in him.
The reason I brought this topic to the table is that today it seems like we are competing ourselves to death, to destruction.
This is something else. That's a different story. We've reached a state where our ego becomes blind, where what's important for me, at any cost, is to be the best. Even if it means taking some drugs to be a better sportsman and destroying my body completely. But the medal is the most important for me. Same thing with what happened with the banks. We've come to a state where our ego is global, integral. It exited all its limitations, all its boundaries. Besides that, we also found ourselves in a new situation in the world today, for the first time in history, that we discover that we are interconnected, all connected together in one system. Just like the butterfly effect. Everything is interdependent. And if we are so interdependent, then is there room for competition? If what I do will be better for you, then it'll be better for me. But if the competition is to your detriment, then it'll be to my detriment as well. Meaning, competition now has to be re-examined, rechecked, and it should take on a different form now, in which I individually take all the other people in the world into my calculation. When I do an action, do I do something bad to them? And if so, it comes back to me. Meaning competition will stay. It cannot disappear. It's our nature. But it seems that we need to learn the new system of connections between us. And then the competition will be about how each and every one betters society, helps society, and by doing so eventually helps himself. And this is a constructive competition. And by that we can truly prosper and find the right connection between us. And By that, we can calm down and fix, heal all the problems that we find lately because of the wrong competition and the growing, horrible, cruel ego that became apparent.
Can you give an example of a competition of this kind?
It's like in a good family, where everyone wants to do good to the other, out of love, out of mutual consideration, because they all feel clearly that they are interdependent, meaning what we lack today is only seeing the system of our interdependency. And if that was revealed, clear, then we would compete naturally about how to do good to the others. I would take pride in doing good things to others.
Yes, but I'll tell you why I'm asking, because you said, and we can all see it, that we're all connected, you know, the butterfly effect, and now you said it should be like in a family, a family the way it should be. I don't compete. On the contrary, I want others to succeed, to advance.
I do take pride in bringing more money home, for instance, more money to the family. If I bought something, then I also take pride in that with respect to all my siblings. So it is competition. It is a sort of competition. I want them to see how successful I am for the sake of the family. It is competition. I want to do good things, but maybe I'm competing myself here.
Is there a way we can create this kind of competition in a way that people will want to participate in this?
First of all, of course we can. And secondly, again, I'm going back to the same sentence. Without competition, we cannot do any action, because any action is when I compare one state to another state, whether one is better from the previous state or worse. But a comparison already brings competition.
That's why I was talking about comparison in the beginning. Yes, that's clear. But the shift in competition.
This shift requires us to change our education. We have to open a new feeling and vision and understanding of the integral system in which we exist to all the people. One should feel as part of that system, and that if he does not give to society, he eventually harms himself on the one hand. On the other hand, we need to provide such an example, such a reaction from society, from the media, and so on, that those who bestow upon society receive respect, medals, some sort of sympathy. The children should be proud of their parents for doing good things. We should evoke that especially. Again, we should provoke competition, but competition with better values, different values.
Yeah, maybe like instead of, praising the richest people, maybe praising the people who make others rich or others be better off than they are now, something like that?
Yes. We have to learn all of that. We have to start developing the method of how to exist as a global integral society in our global reality. And then we will see how competition becomes the effective, positive, and necessary force of development that allows us to prosper.
Beautiful. And
well, there's great work in order to do that. In building this transformation, there's great work in basically building a society with new values. But I think that precisely by seeing this new type of competition, we will be able to tempt people towards the right direction. Meaning, in this new future society we're forced to create now by nature, the individual will not feel that he becomes passive. You still have the ability to develop and prosper and bring many, many good things to the world. And everyone will know you, recognize you, and you will take pride in that, and you will see how you become higher and more important, and you will become fulfilled even more than how you were fulfilled before by the previous competition. By that, we can truly attract people to create this new world.